people who should have read at this that I didn't know to invite. Nellie Wong is clearly a deeply beloved person in the poetry community and the community of politics, and she will clearly be missed. I'm going to have a challenge getting through this, so you might get to see me cry. It doesn't happen very often, but yeah, you might get to see me cry. I had really great poetry teachers. I was born at exactly the right moment in San Francisco, and among those were a lot of people I love who are in the room right now. But significantly, one of the significant moments of my coming to poetry was seeing Unbound Feet 3 read. And then I had the great privilege of taking a class from Merle Wu at San Francisco State. And I did ask if she could be here, but it's just not practical with her current state of health and being. And she suggested that I read a specific poem, and I couldn't get the rhythm of it correctly, so I have taken a liberty. And instead of that, I'm going to read something else, part of something else that Merle wrote for Nellie. I'm reading a section out of Some Basic Ingredients for Home Movies. For Nellie Wong, whom Emily fondly calls the Bell, because her words are melodic, courageous, clear, and sing out. First, take the bells that are loudly but harmoniously ringing all around us today. Voices of writing women and writers of color fighting to be heard, and in precise, clear tones, sounding the alarm against all the symptoms of a psychotic, oppressive society, and singing out for social change. Then add the gallery of voices, voices from the peanut gallery, the second balcony, and the choir loft. The gallery of voices I hear are old women's voices of my family and my people, all auntie and Sinai. Women I rarely see anymore or never saw, but hear, clamoring for me to give them affirmation. My auntie Li Ching was in a convalescent hospital a couple of years ago, and I never forgot or lost the pain of seeing so many elderly Asian women in these sterile, antiseptic rooms, isolated, uncommunicative in their chairs by their beds. The old women who were in the room with Auntie Li Ching were silent and alone, but their bright dark eyes glittered with intelligence and history, and I thought of the stories they must have within them, and what a tragedy it is for us that they will remain untold. It's a very small piece of that very long and wonderful bit of writing. But when I was thinking about Nellie, apart from my experience of Nellie, I just live up the street, and so we ran into each other regularly. And we'd run into each other, and it was always good. And sometimes she'd be at my house, and that was also good. But she was so part of a really important thing that happened here in San Francisco, which was an attempt to create a more inclusive feminism. And a really pivotal part of that, and eventually somebody's going to write a master's thesis about it, or they should, because a lot of the really great poets of that moment in San Francisco absolutely changed the temperature of feminism, at least for us here, which I think is enormously important and valuable. She was an amazing poet, and you're going to hear a lot of other people read some of her poetry and some things that they've written about her. But there's also that key political aspect. And I wanted to say something political right now because I feel like I don't want to be woken out of sleep by dreaming of her telling me that I should have said something political. Because it's a lot of those things that Merle said in that bit that I read are equally valid now. This is what we're doing now, and so we have to take up the mantle of and some of us have it on already, but there are some younger poets in here. This is the job, and this is when. And we have great examples to build off of, and I could wish she was still with us. I will miss her a lot. It was some good innings, and she did a lot of great work. So I just want to, my part of this, I just want to say thank you to her, and that this event is part of my thank you to her. And I'm going to invite Robert Rubino up to read some of Nellie, and one of yours?
One of mine and one of hers.
One of yours.
Thank you, Kim.
Thank you.